Well, I was thinking about it, Jim, and to be honest with you, I listened to Simon's point of view. I watched a wee bit on YouTube. I actually quite like his shirt. I saw the white collar with the blue. I haven't seen that in fashion since about 2008 up here.
This is true, Chris. He's been caught in a kind of fashion vacuum. But what about Gerrard then? Would you be shedding a tear or two?
To be honest with you, Jim, obviously I would do. Don't want to go anywhere. But I listened to Simon's point of view about Villa, it being a big risk for Villa, and I can see where he's coming from. But actually, for me, I think it's more a risk for Gerrard. Because why would he move? Why would he risk his managerial reputation to take a club halfway through a season that's struggling? They've lost a manager. Yeah, I mean, what's a good job there? He maybe takes him up. He does really well, takes him to 8th. Then what happens after that? I kind of think that if he stays at Rangers, then his reputation's intact no matter what happens. He's top 10. He's got his 55th title.
Yeah.
And his reputation's growing, so even if he was to leave in the summer, then having not won the league this year, let's just say that happened, I think his stock's still high enough that he could go on and take a job.
Do you know what? That's a well-made point, isn't it, by Chris? I saw you nodding there, but he's right. I mean, think look at where Villa are at the moment.
No, I think he's right. I think there's jeopardy for both sides. I think I try to frame it that way, which is basically opportunities that are the ones that you take are the right ones. And Gerrard has as much to lose in this as Villa do. And of course, the other side of the argument is when you take the step. My argument is after 3 years in management, he doesn't know what he doesn't know, and he's not learnt to be a manager yet. He's made that transition from being a player into the dugout. He's making it more and more successfully as time goes past. When you step out of the Scottish Premier League, which is a great league at times with great clubs, specifically Celtic and Rangers, carrying the flag for European football in Scotland.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is going to Villa. It depends what Villa wants to be. We've got this idea of Villa winning the European Cup with Peter With and Dennis Mortimer and Gordon Cowans and God knows who else, right? And being a side that's got this fabulous support base. And I spent my time with Doug Ellis, getting a scale of Aston Villa. But that doesn't mean that Aston Villa are going to be at that level again necessarily just because they've got a big bag of money behind them. So we are in danger. I'm in danger of putting Gerrard into a situation where maybe the expectation that Villa have isn't quite as grand as I'm purporting it to be.
Yeah, sure. There's one just before it disappears on me. Simon's talking nonsense regarding Gerrard's coaching so-called levels. His result in Europe over the last couple of years must be as good as anyone else. Simon's an absolute, and then it says text missing. Here's Adam, a big Villa fan. Adam, good morning.
Here it goes.
Good morning, Adam. You sound as if you've just woken up.
Not long ago, no.
No. Oh,
Get out of bed, Adam. Come on.
Come on, Adam. What do you think? Would you welcome Steven Gerrard at your club?
Yeah, I would, yeah. I mean, obviously, you look at what he's done as a player and at Rangers and manager. But I think we've got owners now wanting to spend money. To me, the squad we've got isn't bad, really. I think we should be looking at someone like Erik ten Hag from Ajax. We've got good young players coming through. Ajax, in my opinion, the best academy in the world. I think we've got to be looking at him.
That's kind of what I've said, Adam. I mean, ultimately, if Villa's ambitions are that they don't want to tolerate a decline in form, that they don't want to lose any ground, that they expect to build upon the season 2021's achievements, then why are they going for somebody that might put them into that pattern? And I've said Erik ten Hag. If Tottenham have got the ambition and the wherewithal to go after Conte, why wouldn't Villa, with all the resource, all the nous that they've got in their ownership model that owns sports franchises around the world, Christian Purslow, a well-connected football operator, why wouldn't they be running that one up the flagpole and going, that's the fella, that's the level of ambition, that's the guy we want, that's what we're going to pay to get.
Okay, so Adam's pushing Ten Hag as well. Tony down in Hove is saying, chaps, let's not forget though, if you win the SPFL this season, takes you straight into the Champions League group stages next season. Surely the temptation to manage in that competition will keep Steven Gerrard in Scotland for another 18 months at least, says Tony. I mean, that is true. They've got right into the group stages. It is all change.
Sure.
But by then,
that's
do you pass up the opportunity
Yeah.
to go to Villa? This opportunity might not come back again at a club the likes of Villa.
Yeah, but let's be clear. I mean, just because the main beneficiary of getting into the Champions League group stage is that you get a guaranteed 30-40 million quid for going there. It doesn't mean that you're not going to be drop-kicked out of the Champions League at the group stages, as you have been in previous incarnations when you managed to get through to it. But the viewpoint for me is that this guy's still got a lot of experience to be gained. And if you're Aston Villa and you take this guy, you must have huge expectations that he's capable of delivering it. And doing it in Scotland and doing it in the English Premier League, I'm sorry, with no disrespect intended to Scottish leagues, are chalk and cheese.
Yeah, I mean, this is an interesting one from Russell and Poole. I usually agree with Simon. Except today, the new crop of elite managers are not old school football blokes. They're highly intelligent football tacticians. Tuchel, Klopp, Pep, now Arteta, and Gerrard is that kind of person.
Yeah, I mean, look, Tuchel, you can't bring Gerrard into the same bracket as Tuchel. You can't bring Gerrard into the same bracket as Klopp. They're 5, 6, 7 years older than him. Klopp's probably 7, 8, 9 years older than him. They've managed for a long period of time. They've earned their stripes. Klopp didn't just rock into Liverpool after 2 or 3 years in a minor league. He rocked into Liverpool on the back of phenomenal achievements at Dortmund, where he punched way above their weight and took a brand of football that was irresistible for Liverpool's transition.
So is Gerrard in the same kind of company as Arteta now?
Maybe. I mean, that's a reasonable comparison, isn't it? It's because of the same sort of age bracket, and obviously the achievements that they've both played at big clubs and achieved things in their domestic careers that make them elite players. I still think the jury's out with Arteta.
Yeah,
and I think if you're really going to put these guys to try and steal the ground from people like Brendan Rodgers, from people like Thomas Tuchel, from people like Jurgen Klopp, from people like Guardiola, I think it's incredible ground stealing they're going to have to achieve. But they've got to start somewhere, I suppose. But I'm looking at it from Villa's point of view and saying, really, if you're saying that you really want to really go for the elite situation, then despite the name being an elite name, he's not an elite manager.
He's not an elite manager as yet. Aston Villa, we're still pushing this morning, and this seems to be the thrust of it this morning. They will make an informal approach to Rangers this week to speak to Gerrard, and they are determined, we are being told, but at least by the Daily Mail, they are determined to make him their next manager.
Jim White and Simon Jordan, Monday to Thursday morning 10 till 1 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.